I wish that they would not make mobile titles because, goddamn, Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey are literally the only reasons people bought Xboxes in Japan. Just saying.
And with that, I want to say, welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio. Tonight, we've got two of our co-hosts missing. Gerard Bear is working. The babyface Theowalski's working. We've got Lion's Maid, though, tonight.
That's okay.
Jason
How's
Valerio.
it going, guys? How's it going today?
And two former guests that, always have open invitations, and they finally accepted the open invitation again.
Hey.
We've got Darren from the Rusty Rupees.
What's going on, y'all? Thank you for having me once again.
We've got Soldier First Class.
What's up, everybody?
So, so how's everyone doing?
How's it COVID life?
It's been a little. Yeah, how is COVID life for you guys?
Oh God, I don't know because I stay working. I've never stopped. The big cough has not affected me one bit.
Pretty much, same here.
Friends.
Yeah, I'm still working at home.
Good for you guys. Glad that you guys are able to work from home or
we got
busy.
We got Costco Minute over here.
I wish I could work from home.
But yeah, it's getting same old, things are selling out. We are always out of wipes. We are I don't know when they come in, but yeah, we're always out and still get those questions.
California would just do their part.
California, step up your game, man. We're gonna
Hey,
get locked down again.
Listen here. We know this.
We about to get locked down.
There's a lot of dumbasses out here.
Yes, there is.
There's a lot of dumbasses. I feel like we're trying, but there's still a lot of stupid people out there.
And what's funny is all those people that were protesting down by the beach that they had to wear a mask are the same ones that are telling Black Lives Matter to sit down. So I don't get it. What, a life versus a mask. And that's kind of where I want to start too tonight, guys, is the fact is we've all been seeing it lately. I know the Rupees, you guys just touched on it with your last podcast on the amount of harassment that's going on, the toxicity with social media and Twitter and the death threats and sexual harassment that's going on. And I know, Soldier, you've had part of it, which what the hell? I mean, seriously.
So I actually want to say that I think a lot of it is that more people are at home, they're bored, they're trolling, or maybe they're just really trying to vent some frustrations and they're angry or something, and this COVID thing isn't helping. People are stuck inside and it's irritable having to wear a mask. I understand I have to wear one all day at work. So, I think people are just kind of stressed out. They don't know how to deal with it. And the internet is that out. And unfortunately, I think that falls on content creators because we're the most direct line to opinionated people that they get to, that they can argue with, or that they can, say things that they may not say in person and they want to just vent or whatever. And I think a lot of that turns into toxicity because it causes arguments and stuff like that. And it has been bordering on harassment, really. And maybe not even bordering, maybe on full.
It has.
I wouldn't say
when you look at
it
is. So when you look at the comments,
smoke, come up. What's up?
Exactly.
The smoke.
And when you look at the comments towards Laura Bailey, Neil Druckmann,
awful.
When you've gone bypassing just language and going to, hey, I hope someone comes and murders your kid,
Dang.
Well, what's crazy is when we were leading up to remake launch and everybody the Operation Reunion thing where people were freaking out about the voice actors, I don't recall them ever getting that aggressive. And then you go with The Last of Us 2 and they're literally death threatening Laura Bailey. And
the big cough was in full effect by that point.
Yeah. And I'm like, I cannot believe that this is going on right now.
Yeah, and thing is, too, is you also now look at it that's talking about the Final Fantasy community, right? And I think that's what's really weird about that community is that they sit there and defend what all of us agree is a crap show of an ending.
Not the best. Could be better.
Could have been handled better.
It gets that just passing C. You're just there.
They defend that, they're the ones to sit there and knock Last of Us, because a lot of the people I see making negative comments about Last of Us are part of the Final Fantasy community. They just happen to have PS4s, and I think maybe it's COVID fever, but it's now come out that a prominent member of their Twitter community at Matt Final Fantasy has a lot of sexual harassment stuff being levied against him too. So I don't know if that's COVID fever or not, but I think honestly, as a whole, dude, people just need to just chill.
Agree.
Don't be gross.
Because-
Don't be fucking gross, people. That's the whole thing. It's just be kind.
Also, too, is
if you're gonna be an asshole, fine, but like calm it down. Like don't be such a vindictive asshole.
Don't be a racist, because like there's
That
like
part.
Paris from Gamertag Radio. He's been like, I watch his Twitter feed and he's like, dude, come on, leave the racist comments out of the chats, please. It's like, if you don't like a game, move on.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to do, right?
That's totally true. Like
I mean,
all four of us probably have our different tastes in games. Like there's always that
on
one.
Xbox.
There's always that one
But-
like dirty little secret game that you just like playing, and that's
with
that's
you, it's
cool.
Catherine.
Hey, you know what? It's not a dirty secret.
Hey,
It's
now
over there.
I just
Game.
finished Catherine full body on Switch. We don't talk bad about Catherine.
That is a great game, by the way.
It
Just
is
letting
a
you know.
fantastic game.
Yeah.
But here's
Thank
the
you.
thing is,
Thank
like,
you, soldier.
I mean, we rail
I'll
on
get to it.
Microsoft, right? But we've been railing on them for their business decisions,
Yeah.
right? And
Sure.
how they're doing things, not
Mhm.
the games. Because I've said it before, I'm a Halo fan. I go back to the original Halo Combat Evolved, back when we all had the Duke controller,
Yeah.
and
And
Anchor. I love Forza.
Forza's amazing.
and I
Cars!
thoroughly
I love those cars.
enjoyed Fable when it was around.
Yeah.
Fable 1
See,
and 2.
I just wish that Xbox had like a direction that they want to go. Like it seems like they're buying up all these companies, but they're not really showing us a solid direction other than Halo, Gears, and Forza. Like I get that they're making
Game
all
Pass.
these new games, but
It's Game Pass. That is strictly, I mean, honestly, if you're looking to a subscription model and you just want to play games for a little bit and not own them, $15 a month or whatever, $10-15 a month it's a great value. Don't get
very
me
good,
wrong.
yeah.
And it's great what they're kind of doing with it. But me personally, I like to own my games. I like to be able to just go back to them and replay
Yeah.
them. And subscription services, PlayStation now is the same way. They drop games all the time. But
We
I
don't
get where
talk
they're
about
going.
that service, okay? I will stand by Game Pass. We don't speak of PlayStation now.
Yeah.
We
Dude,
don't-
I
we
did-
don't-
I did the
it's-
alpha. I did the alpha and it was bad.
Same here.
It was
It's
really
dark
bad.
times, and it still is.
But yeah, but coming back to it though, yeah, like Matt said, like me personally, like I always attack Microsoft, but it's not because like I have a hate towards it. It's just I'm curious
to
and
be
wondering
better.
why are you being exclusive? Like, what is your thought process? Because you have
Lack of
there
exclusives.
are 2 years of no exclusives
Yeah.
for your system. So you're
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm gonna just get it on PC or I'm gonna get it on whatever else it
And-
comes out on.
And a conversation I saw with Phil Spencer, it
Why?
potentially could be 3 years
Oh my god,
before
3
you
years.
see an exclusive for Series X.
Do you know what happens in 3 years? You're gonna pull a Sony Dreamcast or a Sega Dreamcast. 3 years, that's it, and you're gone.
Wait,
I believe in Microsoft way more than Sega on that regard.
No, but
No,
I mean,
I
think
d-
about it though. Like,
But-
Sega consoles. Let's make
If you-
that clear because Sega
Yeah.
owns Atlas, and Atlas is
Okay, I knew that was the point you were going to bring up, and I was just like, okay, specifically Atlas is a different category. They're fine.
Yeah.
it is.
and Studio RGG with Yakuza.
but you have like the Dreamcast
Mhm.
that
It's
was
so good, though.
amazing, but it only lasted a few years because you're just
It was a-
not thinking right. In the
Honestly,
business sense.
that launch for Dreamcast will go down as the worst, even worse than what Microsoft did for Xbox One.
I don't know,
because-
man. There's a Wii U here.
No,
In this
because
past
Dreamcast,
decade.
you got to remember,
Rip.
right?
F's
was-
in the chat.
When they actually launched Dreamcast, it was at their presser for E3, and they said, "Guess what, guys? It's already on its way into the stores today." So
What
all the
is
game
this?
magazines did not have a chance to review the games, the console, none of that. There was no press. It was
also,
just a boom here.
Stupid expensive game called Shenmue also came out. That kind of might have broke and destroyed them.
Yeah,
Besides the
Yeah.
point, but
besides the point. But You know what, though? I do believe kind of where I think Phil Spencer's got them on the right track. Don't get me wrong. But I just think that some of the business decisions they're making right now are kind of counterintuitive to a point, because I think they're trying to shift too much to the service side of things, which is what Microsoft as a whole, as a computer company, is moving towards. You know, they've moved Office to being a subscription model now. You cannot buy it and just have it. You know, like you can just get Excel, Word, and PowerPoint and all that as Office for your yearly one. It's a subscription service through Office 365. So they're moving to these subscription services. But the fact that we talked about it last week is that they made the announcement that Xbox One X and the all digital S are no longer being produced because they're prepping for Series X.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's a big detriment.
Now, here's the problem: is you cannot buy one at Target, at GameStop, at Best Buy. Amazon's got them like raised through the roof, you know, as they are right now, if you can get a hold of one.
Glad I got my Cyberpunk one though, and I did. Shit.
Basically, what they're saying is, hey, you're going to be able to play these on Xbox One, but guess what? Xbox One X, if you can't find an X, well, sorry, you're going to have to go to a Series X, or if you want to go with the cheaper version, go with a Series S. So I think the problem with that is, if you look at Halo, right, there's a lot of controversy right now around Halo Infinite because of the graphics.
You mean it looks like buns?
You mean
buns?
Being it was a 4-month-old build, right? So they didn't even show a current build of the game. It was 4 months old. And they're also saying ray tracing may not be available until after launch.
Or multiplayer.
That's going to be, or multiplayer may not be ready to go at launch.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
that's boo-boo.
Dude, there's a lot coming out. There's a lot coming out from 343 right now, including exit surveys that those third-party vendor companies do when you leave a company. There's a lot coming out about 343 and how that company is run now. So it's not great. I hope they get Halo Infinite to its true form, but when you're building a game to run on Series X and a lowly 1.4 terabyte or teraflop Xbox One, that's a problem. You know, so that's where we kind of rail on that a little bit. But I think what it is like, Paris had made a comment though about ending this whole console war, right? Just let people enjoy what games they want to play. So like, you know, Darren, you guys said, you know, with you guys in the Rupees, is that there's a couple of you that are Xbox, that love Xbox. You know, you guys love Xbox. Cool. Enjoy your games. We love PlayStation. I'm going to enjoy my games. Like,
correction, Deontay is the Xbox guy. We are all PlayStation except, but I will, like, my whole thing, and like what I
throw him under the bus.
Oh no, entirely. And he has his defensive points on it. But my thing is, like, on the side of Xbox, like, I 100% agree. Like, my whole thing was that they are not trying to sell systems at all right
now.
No. And going back and watching through, I kind of just perused through each game to see specifically which games were going to be Series X and Windows exclusive to which ones are actually going to run on the Xbox One. And more than half of those games are Series X exclusive, like console-wise.
Which means they're 2 to 3 years out.
Yeah,
exactly. So like seeing like Hellblade, Forza, like some of the bigger games are going to be Series X exclusive, which tells me, okay, there is more of a reason to own a Series X if you're into this. But if you have a good enough PC, whatever, and I feel like that's not. It isn't their focus specifically to sell the games. It is more to get that Game Pass ecosystem going.
Yep.
And I'm honestly okay with that because this is the good faith they're trying to build. And through that good faith is how, in the long term, they'll be selling these consoles. Short term, they already know whatever. It's not gonna happen now.
Well,
the way that they're doing with Game Pass and the way they're selling it currently, like, I'm all in for it. Take that Game Pass money because it's a great service.
Here's what I see though is the fact is Sony's already said they're going to be doing a state of play in August, and there is we're supposed to hear of another big title that is going to be a launch title for the 5, as well as there's rumors of a old franchise being resurrected. Some of those rumors are Jak and Daxter.
Bullshit.
Sly Cooper.
Maybe Sly.
We've been waiting for Sly for years.
Me in the back of my mind, I pray that it's Parappa, but it's okay. It's
Listen, that's a far-off dream, my friend, that we will not get.
I have all the Sly Coopers.
But it's like
right there, Mike.
You know, but here's the thing though, is like Sony is, I think here's the thing is though, Sony drops a hammer and they say, here's another launch title. And it could very well be Horizon, because Horizon's been worked on for quite a few years now.
Oh, no doubt.
I could see them.
Too soon.
I think it's too soon. I think it's probably holiday 2021, to be honest with you. But
did they say 2021?
Well, no. But here's the thing though, they were working on it while they were building the new studio for Guerrilla, and they've been the second they released Frozen Wilds, they started working on 2. So it's been in production now for a good 3-4 years.
I'm assuming Miles Morales is going to be a launch title.
100%.
It says holiday to like 2020, but
yep,
could be a weird like, okay, the console launches in November, let's say, and then it comes out in December or something like that. But I think it's going to be a launch title.
Launch window-wise, if not launch window for sure.
Yeah, I mean, usually when they have like holiday, it is that like
that's what I was
November to Christmas.
I'm still holding to November 19th.
They're gonna have the consoles out, and then as soon as the consoles are out, maybe a day later, or if not that day, they're gonna have all those games pretty much available. If not like the week later.
Here's why I say November 19th. What also is coming out November 19th, Darren?
Oh, isn't it?
Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
And they've already said they're going to have the smart delivery version for the Series X, and they've already said there's going to be an upgraded version for PS5. So I think they know something with the date and timing, that it's going to be either the week. It's going to be within plus minus 1 a week, I think, honestly. If
It makes sense. That would be 2 months out from Avengers being out, and they already said that they're going to upgrade and do smart delivery for that as well.
Exactly. So I just think it's just decision-wise, but I think if Sony drops that hammer, right, and they'd come out swinging right from the get-go and say, here's another big Sony first-party studio game that everybody's been clamoring for, you tie that in with Miles Morales, which we were going to talk about it later on the show, might as well talk about it now, is in a Game Informer article, it got picked up on that it may be coming with a remastered Spider-Man for PS5.
I'm down.
You get that along with a big launch title that everyone's been clamoring for. Then you have coming right behind it, you already know Horizon's on its way. Oddworld's on its way. I mean, you have all these
horizon.
Right?
Stop it.
You have all these first-party studio games that they're just dropping haymakers with, that we all know are hits. We all know what they're going to do. There's rumors on the horizon that God of War 2 is already in production.
Let's go.
Some people are thinking that maybe that could be 2021 that's coming out.
Please, God, let that be true.
We already know.
I'm okay with it, but also I can wait.
Yeah,
just give me a new Bloodborne thing. God.
Legend of Dragoon remake.
Legend of Dragoon remake.
You're talking crazy, sir, and I'm here for it.
But you look at that though. If you look at Sony dropping all these haymakers, and here's Microsoft going, "We want you to get a Game Pass." And here's the thing: is just trust us, because we want all these games to be able to play Series X and Xbox One. But we're not going to have exclusives for 3 years. They may be digging themselves a hole that they can't get back out of.
They always do. Here's my thing about Xbox. I own both a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm.
I bought my PS4 at launch. When it launched, I was there at GameStop that night picking it up and played it that night. Xbox One, I waited several months.
Mm-hmm.
I want Xbox to finally get on stage and blow me away so much that I want to buy both a PS5 and an Xbox Series X day one. And they just continually do not do that. If you remember right, I believe it was the PS4 launch.
Mm-hmm.
E3
the Say Trade Games.
Yeah, E3 that year. Xbox had every opportunity. every opportunity to blow people away with the Xbox One. And what did they do?
Matrix screwed that up bad.
They went out there, did their show. They were like, well, use games, sharing games, blah, blah, blah. Then PlayStation was like, all those things that Xbox just said? Yeah, we're not doing anything of that. We're not doing that at all. And I'm like, Sony continually one-ups them in the marketing department because I don't ever get inspired by Xbox. I love my Xbox One X. I played Nier Automata on it. And I've played and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I have Game Pass. I love my Xbox One X. But I had to wait months to get it because I just didn't feel that connection to Xbox that I do with PlayStation anymore.
Now you get to wait 3 years.
But the 360, that's the crazy thing. It's like when the 360 came out, I actually chose it over PS3.
Because it made sense back then.
It did make sense.
And I ended up buying a PS3, but it's the fact that time Microsoft killed it for me. They had everything I wanted at the time, like gaming wise. Now, obviously, my gaming tastes have changed a little bit. But back in the days when I used to play Call of Duty all the time, and I used to play Halo all the time,
Gears
Xbox
of War was fresh.
Gears of War, Xbox 360 was like one of my favorite consoles of all time. And then Xbox One came out on E3 stage, and I was like, this is okay, but it's kind of like a giant Netflix machine. Like,
and that's the thing. It's like PS3 when it launched, it had a terrible launch. Sony screwed that launch up with price and everything, and it didn't have the launch titles. It didn't have anything because nobody could program for the cell processor. They didn't give everybody enough time. So as you saw all the good games though coming out at the back half of the life cycle, the Uncharted started firing off. You had Last of Us, God of War 3, Infamous,
God of War,
and since then, since that last half of the PS3 life cycle, Sony's been firing on all cylinders. And for me, and this is where I get what Phil Spencer really wants to do, but I just think that if Sony drops a couple more haymakers in August as far as a launch title and what you can expect for like launch window, which is like Q1, I think that they're just going to keep coming out with the exclusives and Xbox is going to be buried. And we already know they're not going to break into Japan. We can just, they sell 10 consoles a week there. That's it.
If they would make, here's my honest opinion on it. I think if Xbox would focus more on exclusives that are like Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is a very popular game in Japan.
Hold on.
Monster Hunter.
Don't get started on exclusives.
Like, if they would come out and do what they did with the 360 with Lost Odyssey, that game is only available on 360 and or digital on Xbox One through backwards compatibility. That game is popular in Japan because it's from Hironobu Sakaguchi. If they went out and they got these companies that focus heavily on Japanese favorited games and got those as exclusives like they did with Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon, I think Xbox could break into Japan better than they ever have. But
I think even
they don't do that.
Like, Xbox clearly isn't focused on exclusivity right now. Like, they've said that many times. But I think as far as with their Japanese market, I see that they're trying, and that's the big part. Getting games like Kingdom Hearts finally on their system, all these Final Fantasy games on their system. Yakuza has been prominent. Like, Kiwami 2 just showed up on Game Pass. But I know that they know that it's too late, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing on like where I'm a little bit more, I won't say sympathetic towards Xbox, but kind of mindful of what they're playing at, is that they know they've lost this race. They 100% know that, and Phil Spencer knows that. But him specifically trying to go out there and still make communications with these games. We have Nier on Game Pass. We have Kingdom Hearts, these Yakuza games. Like, we see that they're trying. And it's not, they don't need to specifically make it exclusive, but to get it onto their system in general, gives people more of a incentive to be like, okay, this game, I like there's a weeb in the office in this Microsoft headquarters. There's a weeb in there that says, hey, yo, Papa Spencer, you know these games, I like these games, but they're only on PlayStation. And Phil Spencer turned around and said, really? Looks like I need to take a trip to Japan. And he said, yeah. And he flew to Japan, went to a couple different companies and try to make things happen. Not 100% exclusive wise, but at least for stuff to end up on the system.
And I think what he's doing though is I think he's smart by combining xCloud and Game Pass.
It's amazing. Stadia,
I think that's
fucked.
well, Stadia is screwed anyways. We already know that. And Amazon, it looks like, is now probably going to be officially bowing out of their streaming service, right? Exactly, because they've now shuttered their second or third studio already, unreleased their second game. But Japan's got a mobile platform. That's theirs, really, honestly. Mobile phones
games
and
Switches.
Switches. And I think the problem is if Phil Spencer would go to Nintendo, get off his high horse, go to Nintendo and say, "Hey, Nintendo, we want to put xCloud onto the Switch." Then you could say they're doing really well. But he came out and said he's not interested in putting it on PlayStation or Switch because those consoles are not interested in the full Xbox experience.
But I also feel like I honestly feel like Phil Spencer is the type of person who wants that to happen, because at the end of the day, that's money for Microsoft.
Absolutely.
And Sony and Nintendo don't want that.
I'm sorry. I would but they put Ori on the Switch. They put Cuphead on the Switch.
Mm-hmm. And Cuphead's now on PlayStation.
Well, and Cuphead just came out on Tuesday.
But see, that just shows that Microsoft is willing to play nice. To me, that's what that shows, is that they want their stuff on other systems. But it's these other companies specifically, because Sony specifically, at the end of the day, are kind of full of themselves.
But here's
Sony
the problem.
is definitely full of themselves.
Here's the thing for Xbox.
100 million consoles.
Yeah,
they have a reason to. Don't get me wrong.
Here's my thing, though. Okay, so with Xbox, they have their exclusives, right? And there's been talks in the past about
Dude, he does this. He's been doing it week after week.
I know.
Yeah.
There's been talks, like rumors and stuff, of Halo going to PS4 or PS5
No
or whatever.
way. No way.
I know. There's been rumors, but
It
it's
won't
obviously
happen.
it'll never happen. But the problem is that when Xbox does get an exclusive, it ends up on PlayStation or PC anyway.
In a year.
Yeah.
In a few years.
Even under a year.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Cuphead is now on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
They now own Cuphead on everything.
There are people. There are people that would literally buy an Xbox just for Cuphead.
Yeah.
But they completely threw that out the window by putting it on every other console. And that's where Sony is actually, I feel like, the smartest when it comes to their exclusives, because you're not going to get Uncharted on the Switch. No. You're not going to get Horizon on the Switch.
But you're getting Horizon on PC.
Okay, you are getting
Stranding on PC.
Yeah.
But here's my thing is,
PC's master race, though. You can't.
But here's the thing is, you're letting them age on the PS4 for a year to 2 years, right? And then you're putting them on PC. And honestly, hey, that's more money for Guerrilla to make Horizon 2. That's more money for Kojima to give us whatever Kojima wants to make.
Once the life cycle of the game on the console, you're like, okay, we're making now we can just send it over to whoever wants to buy it, and then they can
since Horizon, and now 3
we
years
made our
later,
money.
As a new life on this thing that people will clearly be running it better on, but now that's more income. So over time, definitely. Like Cuphead came out, what was
2 years ago?
Couple years ago?
2018.
I think 2018, if I remember correctly.
So it took some time, because that was definitely the first time I had touched my Xbox in a minute. Because I was like, well, Cuphead's out, time to touch my Xbox.
That's the thing about God of War. God of War is the same way. You're not going to play God of War on anything but a Sony console. It's just not going to happen. And they know that. And that's why, with people that like action adventure or JRPGs or or any of that, they go to see
Uncharted. You're not going to see Uncharted anywhere but
Sony holds those exclusives. And it's crazy because it's like, I feel like if Xbox would just, instead of buying up all these studios, focus on developing within and making these exclusives that made them famous, like Halo. But
I think that's the problem.
Halo revolutionized first-person shooters.
It did, absolutely.
And that came from Microsoft.
Past tense.
But hold on, though. Who's responsible for Halo, though?
Bungie.
Yes.
And the last good Halo was Halo Reach.
Yes.
Yeah, Halo Infinite not shaping up to be great.
Yeah, but like to that, like I think that's why they bought up all these studios, because at this point it is a joke when you say, what does Xbox have? You list off Halo, you list off Gears, you list off Forza, and after that, you can't really think
I have to
much.
struggle.
Sunset Overdrive.
But Insomniac is making Spider-Man on PlayStation, and Insomniac has always been damn near exclusive to Sony.
Insomniac
and they are
actually
now.
just got bought by Sony, so
because I don't know why that didn't happen sooner, honestly.
Expect Sunset Overdrive on PS5. I almost guarantee it.
Here's the thing with that
it would have happened already.
Hold on. So Microsoft has the publishing rights for Sunset Overdrive. However, they don't own the IP rights. The IP rights were owned by Insomniac and went right with them on over to Sony. So we could very well see Sunset Overdrive 2 on a PS5.
Yeah.
That would be true.
It's the same thing like with Bayonetta. What happened with Bayonetta?
So here's the thing though. Let's look at this whole, Sony and Xbox thing, right? While we're on it, it's completely out of how we were going to talk about things tonight, but let's just look at things. Right? Okay. Games with gold. Okay. So, Darren, first let's look at the games on the left.
Yes.
Then we'll talk about the games on the right.
I will ignore Portal Knights here because that's been on PlayStation Plus before and we didn't give a damn then. So.
and Override. Dude, really?
Who?
I mean, what games are these? I've never heard, Portal Knights, yeah. But Override, what the heck? Really? Okay, so let's go back to OG Xbox, which we've all talked about was that still was a good generation because I love
that was a prime. I feel like Xbox to Xbox 360 was their prime. That was the one they were like on top of their game and you could actually rival and
they actually cared.
Yeah. They actually had things.
Both games, okay, cool. They're both have their merit, and I know Darren, you said you love MX Unleashed.
MX Unleashed is awesome.
That game is the GOAT.
Okay, so
awesome.
They're saying $80 in value. Okay, cool. Whatever. There's our August free games for PlayStation Plus. Modern Warfare 2 and Fall Guys, which is a multiplayer, a 60-player multiplayer game, like a battle royale.
So that's pretty much an awesome battle royale game. Justin and Deontay were over here and they played it. I didn't even play it on my own computer. They tried out the beta and they were like, this game is awesome. Mm-hmm. So we were all looking forward to getting it. Then they dropped this bombshell earlier this week. So I'm like, let's go. It's launching on PlayStation Plus, which is an awesome move.
Mm-hmm.
And Modern Warfare 2, there's the statement in itself right there.
So again, Modern Warfare 2 and Fall Guys.
To be fair, PlayStation be having some stinkers sometimes too.
Oh yeah.
True.
Farming Simulator.
Now let me tell you something.
I don't like your tone about Farming Simulator, sir.
Farming Simulator is the best game in this side of the Middle East. Central America, all right? We don't wear no mask where this game comes from.
But this is my thing though. American air. And I think this is why you look at now, like Xbox Live Gold, right? They've stopped selling the year subscriptions for it. You can only buy 3-month and month.
I personally think that's a stupid ass move.
No, I think it's because I think what they're doing is look at this, right? Live Gold, Xbox Game Pass.
They're trying to make that transition.
I think they are making the transition, and
slowly.
Once Series X launches, you're going to see Xbox Live Gold go away, and then the only way to play multiplayer is probably you're going to have Game Pass, or they're going to make it free.
I can see that.
I don't think they're going to make it free. But I think it's going to be. I think Game Pass Ultimate is now going to be.
I agree with
Gold, and it's going to be the subscription service. Which
Xbox is the OG of making you pay for multiplayer, so I very much doubt they're going to make it free.
I have a question. Why up top is there a Major Nelson section?
Dude,
that is a good question.
Major Nelson, as in Larry Erb.
Why?
So he has his own.
Why is there his own section? I'm confused.
Have you listened to his podcast?
No.
It's not bad, actually.
I believe I I'd invite him on, but I'm confused why he has his own section among Game Pass, X1 games, Xbox
So,
Live.
Today on Xbox. Yeah.
This is just Xbox Wire. So Xbox Wire is like their online blog. It's their version of the PlayStation blog.
Go ahead, Major Nelson. You have your own section dedicated.
You keep on going. But that's my thing though, is that you have these games, right? And this is again month after month. They are not giving the value for games with gold that they do with their Game Pass.
And let's be frank, like $14.99 for an Xbox original
One game?
No, you can't say Xbox One because
That's true. Yeah. Well,
Xbox
yeah.
original.
Okay. OG Xbox.
OG Xbox.
Yeah.
$14.99. Come on, really?
I ain't doing that.
Like, first you got to find an Xbox that's probably going to cost you $14.99, and then if it's not broken already,
Let me put it this way.
then you got to find the actual game.
I spent $14.99 for the Sly Cooper collection on my Vita.
Exactly. So let's
And
get
I got
a little
3
real.
games
Let's
out
get a
of it.
little real, Microsoft, with how much that games in value is.
You could probably find MX Unleashed for $2 at GameStop.
Okay, let's be real. $20 for Portal Knights and $30 for whatever the hell that other game is.
Yeah,
You will
right.
never see those games actually on that digital store for those prices ever. I guarantee they are never that much ever. That's just there's MSRP, and then the next day it's half off.
You know what really speaks volumes, though, about Nintendo's ability to sell consoles? Nothing ever goes on sale.
Because it's Nintendo.
Like, literally, their consoles are still the same price they were at launch. Their games are still the same price that they were 3 years ago.
Yep.
And they still sold almost as many consoles as Xbox One.
You know why?
No, they sold more.
I think
They sold more.
already.
Yeah,
Did they sell more finally?
Last year.
Oh,
Because they were neck and neck for a long time, and then Xbox came out with
we have
the
this,
One X.
We have this thing called COVID-19.
Yeah.
And
And
pretty
it's
much
kind of fucking hard to get a Switch at this point.
you cannot get a Switch. You can't get it. I mean, you can't even get. I mean, it's hard to get PS4s. You can't get Xbox Ones.
This
Can't
is
get
special
Xbox Ones
little
after
game on
COVID
Switch
either.
right now. This is a special little game on Switch right now called Ring Fit Adventures.
Yeah.
Which is literally sold out within 5 seconds every time it restocks. It's ridiculous. Apparently it's really good and also works you the hell out. But games like that and just trying to get a Switch in general during the big cough is really hard.
I'll just take my Peloton and I'll be good. Thanks.
Copyright by Deontay.
Yeah.
I like that big cough.
So
big cough.
That's a good one.
I mean, let's talk about Nintendo though, because Nintendo did just release Paper Mario, but they released it with a game-breaking bug.
And it's not an RPG.
Isn't there something?
This
So
this
here's the
kind of
thing,
shocks me. This kind of
we've
shocks
been talking,
me, honestly.
but Jason, we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. Nintendo's seal of quality doesn't mean
it
shit
is deteriorating.
anymore.
It is deteriorating.
I mean,
hard.
when week after week they're removing NSFW titles from the eShop store because they get on there for some reason. Now
that was the real confusing part. How they end up there in the first place? It's Nintendo.
Look at the Joy-Con drift thing.
Yeah, the drift issue. They finally acknowledged it. You've got
but didn't fix.
The head of Indies is gone. He up and left. A couple months ago, he's just like, "Hey, I'm no longer at Nintendo.
Yep.
See you guys." There's a lot of culture going on there, I think. But then when you look at the game breaking bug though, it's towards the end of the game. You're moving down the path. You got to get that last.
The end of the game.
Yes.
Oh, that's garbage.
That's
that's garbage.
You're trying to get the last streamer. So you go to this area that's got these little spas. You have to get your VIP pass to get all these stamps. You get your 4th stamp, it unlocks the 5th secret spa. You go into the spa, and if for some reason you leave the spa without completing the objective, your VIP pass is wiped out. You can't get another VIP pass. You can't go back to the other spas and get your stamps. The game just basically says, screw you, you're done.
Soft lock.
No,
Not even a hard lock. They're just soft lock, and you are in purgatory.
I would expect that crap out of Bethesda, not Nintendo.
Facts. Definitely.
The big M is right here.
Dude,
That's
you know what?
Mario.
Yeah. That's like when, okay, so that reminds me of the bug that was in New Vegas is it Lonely Hearts DLC, the one where you're in the casino?
You did say Bethesda.
Yeah.
There's a
But
part...
but it wasn't Bethesda, that was Obsidian that did
Oh, yeah, that's
New
right.
Vegas.
So,
Bethesda
So,
also.
there's a part where you're wearing like a shotgun collar.
Mhm.
Like if you walk towards like the speakers, there's like a thing that goes off and it makes your shotgun collar go off, right? And kills you. Well, there's a room with a speaker right next to it. And when you walk in the room, it auto saves. If you don't disable the speaker before you walk in the room, it soft locks you into getting killed every time.
And that is the problem with Paper Mario, is that it auto saves the second you leave the spa.
Of course it does. That's exactly like that.
Garbage.
So, and then
I remember something like that for Gears of War 2 for me. It was hilarious.
Let's talk Animal Crossing, because they released their new update, which honestly I might pop in and go look at it. I mean, I popped in for the first time in 2-3 weeks into my town, and it was full of weeds.
I haven't played in like a month and a half,
and nothing happened.
So
it was crazy.
A couple weeks ago, I kicked somebody out, and it's supposed to be 3 days, and then they're gone. I fired it up after 2 weeks, and they're like, "Yeah, he's leaving today."
He was chilling.
He was chilling for 2 weeks, but so you're going to be able to have
squatting.
Right. You're going to be able to have fireworks every Sunday night now for the month of August. And then you're going to be able to go sleep in any bed in your house and go off to a dreamland, to where you can share your dream code and people can come visit your dream and you can go visit theirs. But
Pokemon Black and White. What?
Oh, no.
Throwbacks.
So the
Pokemon?
fireworks you can make as custom fireworks.
Oh, no.
So of course people are now making dick pics and putting up words like bitch and stuff.
I love the gaming community sometimes.
I love it.
So honestly, like, Animal Crossing's trying, but honestly, I know Darren, you played it quite a bit in the beginning too, just like I did, and I hit that wall. I was like, okay, dude, I'm done. And it's
the gameplay loop is what kills me for those games. I can't do the same monotonous thing over and over, like collecting. I'm just not that type of guy. Like, I'll do it in open world games, but just not
open world MMOs. Like, I can do that, but when it's just like a single player, just
when that's the entire basis of the game.
When you're just grinding as a single player, like, it's kind of like, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I will say nothing's hit for me. Like, as much as I love New Horizons, and it's a really good Animal Crossing game, but like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's still something about it that doesn't hit the same way like New Leaf did on 3DS back then.
It doesn't hit the same as the original for me on GameCube.
Oh, it never can. But it's like New Leaf to Happy Home Designer, which was garbage, and then New Horizons, which is still good, but it's like, I don't know, there's something about it where it's like it doesn't hold the same kind of I'm in here and I want to be back in here. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm not finding as many beetles at night. Like, that was my whole thing. I'm like, it's 2 a.m. I gotta get like 5 more beetles.
Right. I think my problem is
I'm not seeing those high costing beetles that make me like, oh yeah, I'm here for it.
My problem is that the Switch is slowly becoming like a paperweight for me, just because it's all shovelware, and honestly, I've moved back to playing my PS4 a lot more because there's, honestly, we had great releases. I still have to play Ghost of Tsushima. I'm behind on that.
Dude, do it. Oh my God, it's so great.
Dude, I'm still playing Last of Us.
So are you going to be on once we're all of us are done with...
Oh, don't worry. We're going to...
Oh my God, Ghost is so good, dude.
Oh yeah,
I've been little bit I played of it. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's one of the best open world games I've ever played.
So
but I need to give Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann their due respect, and I need to finish Last of Us, and I'm thoroughly enjoying just taking my time and enjoying the world.
Yeah.
That they built.
Now that I have my nights back, I need to properly put in time on Last of Us first. Even though I truly don't want to play Last of Us personally, I want to just continuously play Ghost of Tsushima. What was like between Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, like Last of Us, I at least know what I'm getting myself into. Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima is a new world by like Sucker Punch games. Any game I play, I platinum. Like I think excluding Infamous 1, and the only reason I haven't platinumed it was because finding blast shards were hard as fuck in the first one. But any other
It's just time
subsequent
consuming.
games, it's not even, but it's fun. Like the world's
Mm-hmm.
engaging and it keeps me entranced. And Ghost of Tsushima's world is gorgeous. NPCs are doofy looking. That's besides the point.
Dude, I've spent like 12 hours doing photo mode.
Mm-hmm. One of my boys has like 4 gigs worth of pictures taken.
Dude, I'm gonna lose myself in photo mode.
It's amazing
when I dive into there. It's
bro.
I lost
like,
myself in Horizon.
Speaking
of first 10 minutes, you'll be hooked into Ghost of Tsushima.
Dude,
first 10 minutes.
Speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, and this kind of goes with your update thing with New Horizon, how is it that all these games are getting updates and Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 has not?
Hey, they're not concerned about anything.
Ghost came out, what, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And it's already got an update that adds difficulty mode and a few bug fixes. Animal Crossing New Horizons has whole new content added in with their update. And like the one thing that people wanted with Remake was the graphic textures or whatever updated or something like that.
That in photo mode, please.
There's literally been nothing. And I know it's because they're working on Part 2 and there's possibility they just don't care about Part 1's updates.
That's 100% it.
But there's been literally nothing. Not even a day one patch that's late. Nothing.
Soldier, we've talked about this. Square's just
Square.
It's just Square. They don't care. Honestly, it's
they made get it from here. They made their money off it, and they're ready to make their next one and make their money off it too. Because take Final Fantasy 14 for example. It almost destroyed the company. And then they remade it. But
then Yoshi P came out and descended from heavens and said, "Let it be reborn."
Right.
And here we are, the greatest MMORPG of all time.
And then now he it revived it, but they unless it's crashing and burning, they really aren't. They're like, okay, we have a solid product. It's a B grade product. Cool, we're fine.
Yet they're still promoting the crap out of it.
They are. Their Twitter stays popping off.
Dude, Crystal Chronicles not having local multiplayer is baffling to me.
It doesn't have what?
It doesn't have local multiplayer. It just has online, which baffles me. They said they're like, oh, it's a design choice because having both was counterintuitive to their design, and I'm like, didn't the original have local?
Do you want to play with friends?
The original was weird also because you had to have a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, but still, it just seems like a weird excuse for that specific thing to not be okay because of a design choice.
So, I want to tie 2 things in really quick before we kind of start closing things out because look at the time, we've already gone almost an hour already.
Oh man.
Yeah. But I want to tie some things into Darren, your guys' last podcast episode, Heroes and Villains. So, which was fantastic.
Thank you. It was like a month ago. I am catching up.
Was it already a month ago, really, on that one?
Oh, bro, I still have like 3 episodes I'm working on.
Oh, okay. So it's not me, it's you.
Yes.
Anyways, so you guys had a really awesome discussion on Marvel and DC, and more specifically how screwed up Marvel's universe is, Fox, and whatnot. Square did announce Hawkeye for the new Avengers game, which is already getting railed on because people don't like the menu system or the graphics or whatever.
You mean Destiny, the Marvel game?
Or the obvious microtransactions that are going to take place.
Yeah.
Are they doing
No, I thought they weren't doing microtransactions.
Because there's not going to be season pass or anything. There's not going to be from what they've claimed. There's not going to be any kind of
If you look at the currency screenshots I've seen,
that's true.
It definitely looks like there could be some microtransactions involved.
Hey, if you
looks like really grindy.
If you need a stack of 100, hey, it's $5. And then
like Ubisoft did with the Assassin's Creed game, they're like, hey, do you want to play 50 hours or do you want to play 10 and speed it up?
And you know what? I hate to say it. I love Julian Garrity and his team at Ubi Massive, but you look at the Division. That thing to get all the the clothing and outfit changes and stuff like that, special skins, you really have to just buy currency and hope you get the loot box that has it in
Monster Hunter, I'm gonna continue playing you until a new one comes out.
Honestly, I have not picked up Division 2 in months, and I love that. I love Division, but I haven't picked up the game in months, and I don't plan on going back anytime soon. Just because it's just, from everything I see, in that community, it's becoming stale and it's having problems because every time they try and downgrade a gun, it all of a sudden creates more bugs. It's kind of like Fortnite.
Ooh, a game that makes epic
that's
money.
a random shot out of nowhere.
Dude, Fortnite, honestly, they're the same thing as though they nerf a gun and bugs pop up with other guns. It's just, it's just the way it is. But
yeah, I get it. But I can't bash on Epic Games, man. Like, they keep giving you free games that are great.
I'll bash on them because I hate Fortnite, but it's still a good thing they're doing.
Yeah.
No,
dude,
absolutely.
Like, they have three new games this week, like 3.
But,
and I'm like, oh, dude.
So, but also too is Batman: Death in the Family came out, which Warner Brothers is doing an interactive version of the 2010 movie Batman Under the Red Hood. Which, if people haven't seen that already, your spoilers of 10 years is kind of over with.
Spoilers of years under the Red Hood. Come on now. We know if you haven't played Arkham Knight.
Right.
Come on. That's basically Under the Red Hood. That video game.
It really is. So that came out this week. It's also come out that they've said that they've done about 3 weeks worth of reshoots for their Snyder Cut for Justice League. And apparently one of the things is that they're going to go back and fix that atrocity that is the opening of the movie. And we are going to see Henry Cavill actually in the suit, and not the CGI mustache removal. And then also too is now come out that David Ayer, who directed Suicide Squad, he said basically there is a director's cut of his version that is much better than the Suicide Squad that we got, because and I think what it is because I've seen some articles where it came out that Warner Brothers, when like Joss Whedon took over Justice League, they told him make it like the Avengers, because Marvel was selling the crap out of it, instead of going with Zack's darker, more built out version where we were going to get Darkseid, we were going to get so much more. Rumor was that we were also going to get to see Superman in the black and white suit, his actual regenerative suit. But now David Ayer is saying, hey, yeah, there is there's a quote unquote Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, which is much better, that had more Joker, which Jared Leto was terrible.
Nobody wants that.
I was going to say, was there more than 12 seconds of Joker in the new movie?
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, nobody wants that Joker, but apparently it was a little bit more fleshed out in the characters.
Nobody wants that director's cut.
I had Suicide Squad was fun, and I think a lot of it was just Will Smith being Deadshot and Margot Robbie being Harley Quinn, which she was a really good Harley Quinn. But overall, I don't need another director's cut of Suicide Squad.
Like we talked about in the episode, DC needs to realize what their strong suit is, which is animated movies.
Yep.
The moment they try to compare themselves or try to do things like Marvel does is where they fail, because they do not have over a decade worth of story building, of characters, of world building that they've done. They're trying to rush everything far too quickly, which Wonder Woman's amazing. That was their best. But everything else they've done is like, let's run through everything really quickly because we can do it. Let's put this Justice League movie out. That was their third movie out of all that?
Fourth, they keep changing actors too.
That too. They're not consistent enough for it to matter.
Okay, so the reason why people care about like Captain America and Tony Stark is because of the same actors every movie.
Yep.
Like, obviously
we got a new roadie. That's besides the point.
Yeah, Chris Evans was the Human Torch, and then they're like, no, we want him to be.
We need them to reincarnate from these crappy movies to be amazing.
So then when they started doing all these, like, Ant-Man's Paul Rudd, like, Paul Rudd became Ant-Man. Like, that's just who people recognize him as.
Yeah.
You know, Hemsworth as Thor. He played Thor in every movie.
Even
You know,
Thor.
all of these guys are so continuous that when Avengers finally comes out, you're finally seeing all of that buildup, all of these characters that you grew up loving, all of these actors that are coming together in one movie. It's like
it's not
like
just Avengers
the
too.
Expendables version of the Avengers. Like,
see, I think the problem is with DC, right? Is they did it backwards, right? They used Man of Steel to start off everything.
Let his dad walk into that tornado. I will never not bring it up anytime Man of Steel is brought up. Why do you walk into that tornado? Don't, Clark. I'll go. Why?
You know. And then you have basically their live action version of Dark Knight Returns, and it wasn't really great. And then you have Justice League, right? But instead of building up your characters, like saying, hey, here is Wonder Woman, here is Aquaman, and doing their origin stories and then kind of start melding it together, they did it backwards. They said, hey, we're going to make this crappy movie, and then we're going to say, here's Wonder Woman, here's Aquaman, here's their kind of origin stories.
It's too bad that they couldn't have gotten, like, Christopher Nolan as Batman. Because I feel like Christian Bale was such a good Batman.
He was only under a 3-year picture deal. And the original thing is they could either do the third Batman and finish the trilogy, or the third movie would have been Justice League.
See, I still think that they could have signed him for another movie if it came down to it.
Christian Bale was done. He said he was just kind of done.
I guarantee he was done with that.
You got to figure he did what started off his whole saying, hey, I just need time away from this type of acting, is that he went from doing The Machinist, which he lost a ton of weight for, and then had to turn around and rebulk up for Batman.
That man went through so much weight training.
And his body was
such a good actor, though.
Yeah. So he just like, I was done. And like, but the thing is, though, is they were trying to do Justice League back at the end of Smallville. And the rumor back then was that Tom Welling was just going to step from the show directly into JLA. And it was going to be a straight transfer.
Which I think would have been great.
Dude, I would have loved seeing that.
Dude, and it would have made that build up from Smallville, like, what, 10 seasons?
Yep.
It would have built him into that character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it would be franchised.
Like, you know, now we've got Batfleck, and now we've got Robert Pattinson. Like,
I think, honestly, though, I think Robert Pattinson is going to do
he's going to do good.
I think he's going to do a phenomenal job with it.
Yeah, I think he'll do all right.
Now, that being said, we just have to see how it all turns out, because they are starting this out as it's not going to be an origin story per se. He's already going to be starting out in this world where the Rogues Gallery is already out there. Joker's already exists. Riddler is, you know, everybody's already there. And it's not going to be a introduction to them that we're just going to assume, hey, you know who these guys are. But I think, honestly, we kind of talked about this, you know, is that you've got the Ezra Miller Flash that's going to have the Michael Keaton Batman in it.
Which is still so strange.
And
like,
so
that's DC's problem, is that they can't stay consistent with anything.
Yeah. I think if DC's smart,
they're not.
They will, which they're not. Well, it's more Warner Brothers.
They're not.
I think if they're smart, let Flashpoint be the reset of the entire universe and fix it.
Well,
from
it's
the
like
show?
You could.
No, not from the show, but from the movie. To a movie Flashpoint, which is what they're rumoring that this is going to be, which is why he ends up in the Michael Keaton universe. I think you use Flashpoint to fix everything.
They can try, but they'll the problem with that still is that even like a Flashpoint is an awesome scenario.
You know what we're going to get?
Case.
We're going to get X-Men Apocalypse out of the DC universe.
Which isn't a good example.
Really? Because it was a terrible movie, and I think that's what The Flash is going to be.
Exactly. But I think that's the big thing, is like starting off a movie with an event to reset when they're already hitting the reset button with Batman already. It's like DC keeps on trying to play catch up, and that's the big thing about it. Every single time they do something and try to solidify it, they're like, nope, let's hit the reset button. Here's this new Joker. Here's this new Batman. By the way, this Joker solo movie was really good. And way better than this connected Joker story.
I love Joker. Joker was so good.
It was a good
so before we get into kind of what we've been playing, Soldier, I have a prepared statement for you from Jerry.
Oh boy.
Since he could not make it. So he wanted me to say, hey, what up, my dude, Soldier First Class? Matt told me you were having some trouble with some trolls giving you problems. Here's the solution. Get your Buster Sword ready and go to town, busting skulls left and right. That's how we got to get it done. JK, joking all aside, if you're ever having trouble, just know the Crashing Game Night crew is always got your back. And you're always welcome to come on the podcast and join us. I wish I was there to hang out, but I've been summoned to work. Take care, dude, and keep your head up.
Well, man, thank you. You know I love all you guys, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then we did have a voicemail from a listener. Newman is back.
Hey, what's up, Newman?
Which I know you guys probably haven't seen it yet, but I had because I work with Newman, I had a request from Newman to do some friendly fire kills in Modern Warfare.
Oh. And to our listeners, it's on our YouTube. Like,
go check out our YouTube channel.
Check it out. It's real short.
Past live streams. It's short. It's on there. Newman, if you guys are a fan of Seinfeld, you kind of can already get some of the lines that are already going to be included as I kill Jerry. It is a shame that Theo is not here for this, because this voicemail came straight for Theo this time around.
Oh.
So.
Hey guys, it's Newman here with the Newman Minute. Sorry I missed last week. I had some stuff going on and had to get caught up. But I watched the live reaction to the Xbox thing. I've caught up on both your podcasts. And Theo, you still disappoint me. Real PC gamers learned how to play Hue without needing a controller and are doing just fine. It's a very relaxing game. I recommend it to all the listeners as well. And sometimes I just leave it on and keep it in the background just for the music. It's a great, relaxing, peaceful little game, and I've only got 3 colors on the wheel yet, but it's enjoyable. As far as Xbox and all that kind of stuff goes, I still have an Xbox 360. That's the current system that I have, and PS2, so I am way behind because everything I do is on PC. So I can't give you any encouragement, Jason, other than Xbox Lives Matter. Keep on going on, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Oh, Newman, man.
Oh,
hey,
my God.
Xbox Lives do matter if you have one already. If you don't have one, then, well, sorry, buddy.
And then just real quick, just because rumor mills, I guess this from this retailer that does toys, the legendary Halo series returns the most expansive Master Chief campaign yet and a groundbreaking free-to-play multiplayer experience. Enjoy up to 120 FPS of greatly reduced load times, creating seamless gameplay with Xbox Series X. Free to play? Weird rumor from this random toy retailer, but okay.
Yeah.
Who's the toy retailer?
What the hell? Smith's? Smith's
Toys R Us.
Who?
Toys R Us.
Interesting.
Dude,
But yeah, Newman, yeah.
thank you for shouting out. Hey, shout outs again to you, Newman. Xbox Lives do matter, but you gotta be able to get one to be able to say that.
They matter.
I can't get one now.
They matter, just not to Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's nice hearing from Newman. We don't hear from him as much because he's still recovering from his cancer treatment and stuff. So we love him when he comes on. We love him when he makes his requests. That's why when we were talking at work and he made some comments about friendly fire for Jerry, I was like, you know what? He's done a little bit for us. He's even, dude, what's funny is there is like, because you guys have, I don't know if you guys still are on Anchor or not, really, because, but we still have Anchor running for the voicemail piece. And he's kind of turned that whole thing like into a Newman Minute.
Yeah.
He's created his own segment. It's great.
Created that segment. It's great always hearing from him. And we always still accept all other listener comments, voicemails, on our Anchor. we'll play them. You know.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. So what? Let's start with Soldier. I know you've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. What else have you been playing?
So I just finished Catherine Full Body on the Switch.
Yes, my boy.
Yeah, I know,
That
right?
thing is so good.
It's so good, especially the
It's
extra
short,
content.
but it's so good.
I just finished Persona 5 Royal like last month, and I'm not gonna lie, dude.
So good.
It's a bold statement for me.
This is a bold sacrilegious statement from you.
This is a bold sacrilegious statement for me.
Before you make the statement, did you only play the Royal and not Base 5?
I played a little bit of Base 5,
Okay.
and I stopped playing it. And then I got Royal, and I played it for 135 hours and 50
Which
minutes.
sounds correct.
Exactly. So, Persona 5 Royal might be it might be my favorite game of all time.
Yo.
It is that good. And
Yes.
I don't say that lightly, because my favorite games of all time are Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII, and I have very deep emotional bonds with those games. But Persona 5 Royal came at a time where I was very in a dark place emotionally, and after playing that game, it changed my life. Like
It's so good.
I mean, obviously the Joker poster I have in the background, which you guys probably can't see, but I'm obsessed with Persona now. Like, I'm looking forward to Persona 5 Scramble that's coming out in the West soon.
I need it.
I know.
I'm a Dynasty Warrior bitch.
I know.
How
And
dare
then-
they give me relevant plot in a stupid Toei kick-em-up.
They
Are
took
they
this page
making
out of
like
Square's
a-
book.
Are they making like a Hyrule Warriors out of Persona 5?
Yeah, it's a
Kinda-
sequel.
Yeah.
An actual like story sequel to Persona 5. We don't know if it's Royal sequel, but it's
not,
actually
'cause I don't think it has Kasumi in it.
Okay, but yeah, it actually storyline wise takes place after 5, which makes I was already gonna get it because, like I said, Dynasty Warriors. I've been heavy into One Piece lately, and I'm almost caught up, and it's making me very sad.
Wow, that's the COVID life for you right there, catching up to One Piece.
See, but the thing, COVID hasn't affected me. I've still been busy as hell.
That's like catching up with
Right.
Bleach.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Bleach
I'm
is
on
over, but I mean, like,
chapter 809 right now.
Yeah, Bleach has like 9,000 episodes, so good luck with that.
I'm not okay. Listen, we don't watch it. We read because we're cultured and don't like waiting an entire episode for 2 pages to occur. Okay,
fillers.
it's not even fillers. It's pan, transition, talking, transition, pan, close up. I'm just like, just hit him with the sword, dude.
So what have you been playing, Darren?
Play? Ooh, you're asking heavy questions there, buddy. So I am now free from the nightly constraints of night jobs. So now I can slowly start catching up. But like Soldier, I have been playing a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima, and that game is amazing so far from what I've played. It immediately entrances you with its story, and for being a new IP, to be able to grip you in a world is something that a game tries to strive for right off the bat, and definitely Ghost of Tsushima does that. Can you back me up on that, Soldier?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. So there was a part that I just got to, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but it messed with me. Like, it was so emotionally raw and real that I felt for the characters in that moment. And you'll know it when you hit it. It's midway through the game, but man,
And that's what
wow.
happens when you make really good exclusive for Sony.
Well,
They
and
give you
dude,
latitude to make a new game.
Did you see that it broke the record for fastest selling new
Well, we
IP
talked about
for
it last.
Sony?
Well,
yeah.
no,
It
hold
sold
on.
out.
Not even that. It sold out of every physical copy in
Physical
Japan.
copy. Yeah.
Dude, Japan loves it. Famitsu gave it a perfect score, which is the third Western title to ever get that. The other two were GTA 5 and Skyrim. For that to happen and for that game to be in that big a company, for a magazine that is Japanese exclusive,
Yeah.
Because
That
you know
speaks
that means that
volumes.
they did their culture right. They did their research.
Not
And
even
the
that,
game
but
is
they just take
gorgeous,
the
first
time.
and foremost.
Take
Did
the
you see
time.
the guy from? Did you see the director from Yakuza said that he wishes that game was made in Japan? That's how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually
love that.
reviving. They're actually reviving the Yakuza Samurai game.
Mhm.
I think it's.
Oh, I
Ishin.
did see that they want to try to remaster it.
It's
right?
like Ishan or something like that. But
Yeah.
they're gonna do that game now because he loved it so much. I guarantee that it's almost directly related.
So, Jason, what have you been playing?
I've been stressed out a lot, so I've just been on the Final Fantasy 14 grind. The new
blame
group
you.
that I'm with though is
How's the new raid?
a lot better,
The
a
new
lot better
raiding
than the
party?
old group. Yeah. So
Nice.
it was
That
it
new
was an
Nier
upgrade.
raid?
Well, because
Is it a Nier update or raid?
no, they're about to release the next patch for 5.3 in Final Fantasy 14 in about 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yes,
I
2
just saw
weeks.
you can get a flight unit, and that's like the big reason why I want to get back to 14. Because how dare they put Kefka in that, which is something I need to go do, and also Nier. You can't put two of my favorite things in this thing I also really like.
And
Damn
to extend that, they are extending the Nier storyline, so it's going to be in the next patch, I believe.
I
Yoko
know. You
Taro
could
is
use
my
flight
hero.
units.
So
He's so good. I love that man.
But yeah, just been playing Final Fantasy 14, just unwinding that way. Playing Hue every so often. Got about we're working on the 5th color right now.
Nice.
But and the best one that I've been playing the most and enjoying is Among Us on PC on Steam. You
Keep
guys,
plugging it away.
I will
He
plug
keeps
this
plugging
game.
it.
I will
He's
plug
plugging
this
it all
game.
last week.
Among Us, dude. If you got, it's $5 on Steam. Get it.
You know what?
Hit me up.
Okay, Darren, he's been plugging this game Among Us.
Dude,
Like your boy keeps plugging GTA every time he keeps trying to get you to play a game with him.
It's not gonna happen.
no, dude. Like it's
I
$5.
promise, kind of, but I still
will,
truly don't want to.
But,
when you get it, hit me up, and it'll be the most hilarious thing ever, man.
So I've got, for me, it's been Last of Us. Finally, I'm almost done with day 1 of Abby's story. Been working a little bit on Hue. So I've got one more color left on that one. I've been playing, of course, Tetris Effect.
Yeah, my guy.
Love that game. I'm gonna try and platinum the game.
Can't wait for the multiplayer
I'm curious
expansion.
how hard that is,
So,
though.
It is because one of the trophies is get a double S score everywhere possible.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but I assume that's pretty difficult.
Yes.
Getting the Journey on hard trophy was really hard. So to do S, I would probably equate it to basically you having to relearn how to do FF7 with no items and no magic type stuff, whatever for that hard mode platinum. But no, so there's Tetris Effect, and then of course been playing Everybody's Golf.
Ooh.
I'm having so much fun with that game.
Everybody's Golf is so good.
It is just so much fun, and I'll play it with the baby because he just sits there and he looks at the colors and he loves it, and it's just
nice shot.
It's easy. I can kind of just nice shot. Great.
If you want a game for your Switch that won't turn it into a paperweight, Catherine Full Body.
Yes.
Don't play that with children though.
It's on the PS4. Anyways. The one thing I do need to get back to on the Switch wise to finish is Ori. I do needed that because Cuphead's out, so I bought Cuphead on my PS4. So, and I think it plays better with the DualShock than it does on the Switch.
It is a little bit easier with that classic controller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Magenta. I just got a code for that today, so I need to download that.
So with that being said, for all of our listeners, I want to thank you guys for crashing game night with us. Also, Soldier First Class, Darren, hopping on, crashing. As always, you guys have
shout out
open
to you guys, man.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank
dude,
you. As
always, you guys are literally welcome.
You guys know when we record.
Yeah,
we're doing Zoom now, so you guys have the meeting room now too. So
yeah, so just meet
every
up.
once in a while, just kind of crash in and go, "Hey guys,
what's up?"
Just that's
what's up?
the way it is. for our listeners though, make sure to leave those voicemails on Anchor. If you have questions for us, definitely. Also, check out YouTube, Crashing Game Night, because we are starting to upload some fun videos like me killing Jerry in Call of Duty.
Killing Jerry's just fun no matter what game you play.
Yeah, pretty much. And then don't forget to follow us at crashinggamenight.com, Twitter, CGN Podcast. Also, guys, too, make sure to go check out the Rusty Rupees. They are pretty much on just about every podcast platform we're on. I know you guys are trying to get onto iHeartRadio and Pandora, but you guys are
on the way. I still need work to do. And remember, it's Rusty Rupees with 2 Y's on Twitter, because Twitter's some hoes.
Yep. And then also check out Soldier's YouTube, guys, because his videos are great. They're insightful, especially now that he's doing other content and talking about Ghost of Tsushima and Persona 5 and all those shenanigans.
Until we get part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and just real quick, speaking of Japanese culture, Sekiro's getting DLC or like an update with boss rush and some new costumes, and that game needs DLC because I need it. It was the unexpected game of the year last year, and I'm here for it.
Jerry gave up.
Oh no.
Jerry gave up on the Sekiro challenge.
Yeah,
he hasn't played it, so
he gave
in.
I'm just it's so hard to hit the wall over and over. I'm so used to hitting walls, but it's just like this one is just you make one mistake and the whole rhythm is just thrown off, and you're just.
So now that I have free time, one of my goals within just soonish time frame, because the only I played Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and I want to go through Dark Souls Remastered and finally just bite my teeth and go through Dark Souls 2, because I hate that game. I do not like 2. 2 is a bad game. But
you have fun with that, but
I won't.
in light of our conversation tonight, guys, everybody out there, to our listeners, be excellent to each other, and more importantly, please stay frosty.
Shout outs to all you out there. Thank you again for listening to us. Catch our boys out there as well. Be safe, wear a mask, social distance. We're not out of this yet. Still got a long way to go, but.
And as Jerry likes to always put it, guys, remember, Black lives still matter. Yeah. Even though it's not as much in the news as it was, it still matters. We still got a long way to go with that.
We out here still.
And you still have our support.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
So, Soldier, Darren, pleasure as always. Good night. And because Theo's not here, Jason, go ahead and do it.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Take care, everybody.